Hello, everyone. My name is Ronice Vieira, and the topic that I am going to talk about is bond and boundaries. And it's funny that I chose this topic specifically because I am not good at setting boundaries. I am good at bonding, but I am not good at all at setting boundaries. And usually, when you are doing any investigative report, you tend to pick something that you tend to be good at, that you are an expert of. But I chose this topic specifically to do it in a inquisitive point of view, for me to learn from the research, for me to learn from the things that I'm gonna try to find out, and to become better at it, instead of just picking something that I'm easily gonna get it done and get it out of the way. So the first thing that I actually broke it down into four things. The first one is saying yes to everyone all the time is saying no to you all the time. And the second thing is bond with a degree of separation. The third thing is measuring the scale and keeping the balance. And the fourth is that bond without boundary can easily turn into bondage. I'm going to quickly break down the four things that I mentioned. Saying yes. Usually you hear, oh, you're a naysayer. I'm the opposite. I'm a yes-sayer. I say yes all the time. If somebody calls me up and says, hey, write a poem for me, I have an event tomorrow, I drop everything without even giving a second thought that I have my stuff to do, and I do it right away. I'm saying yes to the person, but what about me? I have everything else that I have piling on while I'm saying yes. So it is okay to say no when you're not able to accommodate somebody else's need. And it is okay to sometimes set boundaries to put your need at a higher priority than to just let anyone come in and sway you into any direction. Bond with a degree of separation. That it came to mind because I thought of Jesus. Jesus and the disciples, they were always together. They did everything together. They went through cities and nations together. But there was a degree of separation where Jesus withdrew himself to be alone, withdrew himself to pray, withdrew himself to go draw back to the fountain, which is the Father. And that's very important for us as humans, that we must fellowship with one another. We must bond. We must be together. But there comes a time when you have to have that degree of separation in order for you to reset yourself, in order for you to recharge, in order for you to because you can't pour from an empty cup. If you keep pouring without filling yourself, then there's no room to draw from. And the other thing is measuring the scale and keeping the balance. You have to have a balance between bonding with somebody. I think my problem was over bonding and not setting boundaries. And with any company, like Apple, for instance, when you buy a device, there's always terms and conditions. The terms and conditions are that creates a balance. And you measuring the scale. Okay, this is the rules and regulations and the policy, and if this happens, this is the consequence. And you already know, and you already have it set. A lot of times we start bonding with somebody so much that we forget to set a perimeter around us, around our families, around our children, with our families, that we don't want people to cross. And when we don't set it and they cross it, we get upset. But who should we get upset at? At them or at us for not making it known what our boundaries are. And the biggest thing that this came from Reverend Moses, bond without boundary is bondage. Think about that. I'm going to leave you with that. Think about it. When you're over bonding with someone, you have a boyfriend in the beginning and everything goes. You didn't set goals. You didn't set perimeters around, how to treat you and what you allow and what you don't allow. Or you're in a marriage, or even at work. When you start working, at any place, there's code of conduct, there's policies, there's rules, attendance policy. All those are boundaries where you cannot violate and you cannot cross. And if you're in any type of position, relationship, or any type of work that there is no boundary, and you become a slave to it because you can't break free, you can't say no, and everybody is overstepping their boundaries. For me to think about biblical boundaries, right there in the garden, God told Adam and Eve, this is all yours, but do not eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge. Samson, God gave him, supernatural strength, but there were boundaries that God set, and he lost it because he overstepped those boundaries. And it's very important. It's very important to have a clear understanding of what bond and boundaries are, and to have a healthy relationship, to have a good foundation in order to function properly and not allow anyone to ever overstep those boundaries when they set and clear. So it is very important. I hope that you could take those 4 points and kind of think about them and go from there. Thank you. Have a great day.